Hi, Master.
Yes, hi.
As Master may have already known, there are currently big changes in some of the Arab countries. People are calling for change.
Yes.
This is the first time in Egypt's history that Christians and Muslims are helping each other like they are now.
Right.
Master, do these changes correspond to a spiritual change?
Yes, somehow they do, yes. I hope it goes beyond that, so that humans can have peace with each other at last, and freedom. Whatever freedom they ask for, they should have it. Because humans deserve freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom of transport themselves from one place to another, freedom to travel, freedom of religious practice, freedom of saying what they want and choosing whomever they like to govern their own country. Basic human freedom. For that I also gave a lot of zillions of spiritual points, and I hope it works.
Oh, thank you, Master. Thank you.
That is hundreds of thousands of zillions of zillions of zillions of zillions of zillions of zillions.
Master.
Yes.
Thank you, Master.
Yes, without freedom people cannot breathe. Without freedom people cannot have dignity. Without freedom people cannot develop their potentials, and they cannot thus serve their nation or serve the world. And thus they cannot serve their family or their country, and lastly the world, to the fullest of their capacity. So freedom is very essential to humans' evolution, to the wellness of the world, to peace on our planet. That's their birthright to have freedom, because they are children of God. They have to have the freedom to govern their own life, to decide what they want to do, to move around as they please, and to believe in whomever God they like to believe, as long as they don't harm others.
Yes, Master.
They should have all this basic freedom to earn a living, to have a decent life. Yeah? Just basic human freedom, yes. And they are right to have it. And they are right to demand it if they don't have. This is the problem with people, with anyone, when you have power. That's why there's a saying that beware of what you're wishing for. Because sometimes you wish to have power, to have, prestige in the society, position in the government, but as soon as you have power, things change. You change. It's not because people have to realize also it's not the fault of one president or one prime minister or one government. It's the problem of the position. The higher the position, the more responsibility and the more temptation and the more traps. People will surround you with all kind of untruth story, flattery, making you fall very easily. People are so easy to succumb to your power and to do anything you wish, even when it's wrong. And nobody would dare to tell you when it's wrong. And nobody would dare to tell you when it's right. And at that time you will be more and more powerful. And then you don't even want to listen to people when it's right or when it's wrong. And then slowly, the power will consume this person and make him change into another person. It is a very dangerous position to be in. To be in power is to be in danger. So every leader deserved also to be forgiven, not always to be condemned. This is a problem with being in power. So that's why even spiritual power also we have to be careful. Because when we practice spiritually, we have such a power that our wish will come true. That's why we have to be careful what we wish for. Only wish for what is beneficial to others, to humankind, and to ourselves, and not the selfish wish, and not this grabby, greedy, and very ignoble kind of wish. Because even then it will come true too. But at what cost? See?
Yes, Master.
That's why before our initiation, I even advise all the people, all of you, to consider the 5 precepts first, to build up the moral base, like basement for the spiritual house that you are going to build in the future. If we have spiritual power without moral equipment, then we'll be in trouble. Yeah? We will become opposite to what we want to be. It's like any leader in the world. They have their ideal. They want to rule the nation. They want to help their people. But as they climb into power, people around them will worship them too much, will do anything they want, so that they will realize that they have such a power that they can do anything they want, right or wrong. And then it's very easy to fall. Another thing concerning leaders, in any field or in any more powerful position than the ordinary folks, is that, of course, they have to have people to work for them. But the subordinates, the people who work for them, don't always listen to what the leaders want. They sometimes go zig-zag to protect their interest or to make more power or more profit for themselves. But of course, when anything happens, the people tend to blame everything more on the shoulders of the leaders than just a small subordinate. And that is a problem also. And another problem is with the karma. When everyone comes back into this world or come down to this world, we bring along our so-called former associates, relatives, or enemies even. And sometimes the enemies also come inside the circle of the leaders. And then, apparently, they look very obedient and very cooperative and very helpful and very respectful. But slowly, gradually, or even subconsciously, they will do something or lead the leaders astray and make things become more chaotic and getting worse for the leaders also. It's not only the subordinates or the co-workers or the assistants that lead you astray or do things contrary to what you intended to do or intended to work for the people or for the project, whatever. It's also your relatives and your so-called relatives and friends. Sometimes they also make trouble for you. For example, maybe the leaders originally is very pure, clean, not corrupted, but then maybe the relatives, the friends, the family members are tempted and corrupted by other people for their own interest, and so just drag the leader along or smear his or her name by the way, like that. So this is not a very safe position to be in. The position of power is not very safe. So anyone who wants to be a leader or aspire to be a leader or who are already in the position of leader still need to always look inward, and introspect, looking inside. Always have to control and check ourselves and have to have a very sound, solid base of moral standards and virtues. Otherwise, it's very easy to fall. Okay?
Yes, Master.
All right. As I said, I'm sorry for any leaders at all who err. It's not difficult to err when you're in a position of power and did not have enough basic moral equipment or not arm yourself with enough virtuous guidance, for example. Even if you're a leader, you still need guidance, especially spiritual guidance, moral guidance.
Otherwise, if you're alone and just listen to yourself and your subordinates, it's very easy to fall.
I feel very sorry for any king, any president, any prime minister that fell from power, that are opposed by people, because they are the victim as well. Victim of power. That's why in the ancient Chinese and Vietnamese, we have a saying that first you have to cultivate your own virtue and spiritual standard, and then you can, for example, get married, take care of the household, and then you can govern your country, and then you can think of pacifying the world. You see that?
Yes, Master.
First, cultivate yourself. So some people maybe don't have enough time to cultivate themselves before they come into power. Or when they come into power, they forget the principle of being a good leader. Because the situation, because the people surrounding them, all kind of things happen.
So, well, the people should be building a more democratic country, more democratic system for the country. I think all the leaders who err should be also forgiven, so that the cycle of violence and revenge will break and people will truly live in lasting peace.
Master, there is a lot of political instability in Middle East and Northern Africa. Could Master offer words of comfort or guidance for the citizens enduring the strife right now?
They should look for God within, And they should change their way to live in more benevolence, more in accordance with peace. Then peace will come. We have to create the energy, the benevolent, peaceful energy, in order to attract peace and benevolence. Okay? There's no quick fix, except we have to fix ourselves. Like begets like, and that is the universal law.
Yes, Master.
I pray for them. I offer zillions points for peace as well as I go along. It's not enough yet, of course, but I give as I earn. I told you already. For all races, for all countries. And I just hope that I can earn enough to give, and that I give quick enough. Yeah? That peace will come into all lands. Thank you.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you for concern.